Greetings, viewers. This is CP666 signing on to show you what's in this mess. What do I get myself into? Alright, so as you can see, it's a mess of ESD bags and another bag and a laptop bag and, ooh, another laptop bag. All arranged very neatly in what is an excellent example of a fire hazard. So, just don't ever try this at home. This will be cleaned up by the time I'm done making this video. Especially all the discs that I've got all over the floor. Anyway, okay, so what have we actually got here? We got a bag of RAM. This is random access memory. All different types. We've got RD RAM. We've got... what else have we got in there? We've got mostly PC-133, but there's some PC-133 DDR. There's might be some DDR2 in there. And there's some RD RAM. I've got a bag somewhere in here that's got Sims in it. I don't know if the bag is over here or if it's over there. Let me take a look. Okay, it's over there. I think that's what that bag is. Yes. That bag over there is Sims, so we'll be taking a look at those. But what else have we got here? I'm probably wondering what's in this bag. And this is fairly cool. As you can see here, we've got a tripod. No markings. It doesn't have a manufacturer's name on it. I thought it did. Oh, wait, yes it does. Sony. So this is a Sony mini tripod with some gunk on it. Alright. What else is in here? A Fuji Super HG, which is high-grade quality. High 8 tape. No markings on the outside of it. Well, there is some writing on it. But there's more than just that. There is something else in this bag, but it's just a nut for a tripod that I don't own. Is it actually still in there? No, it's not. The nut is not still in there. There's more. If we take a look at more of the mess, which is why I really don't like doing these videos, because everybody just complains. You can see the camera. Yes, I got it myself. A free camcorder. Sony, as you can see there. Infolithium NP-F530. It's been a long day, guys. So I am just absolutely out of it. I should not be making this video right now. Full charge will complete in approximately 1 hour after charge lamp goes out. Alright. So this is also one of those that you can operate in VTR mode, which basically means you can connect this up to your camcorder and power it using that. This is your power supply and battery charger all in one. Excellent design. As for the camcorder, you're probably wondering what that's all about. Here is, well, probably more of an act of frivolity on my part. I found this about ready to be trashed and was like, well, you know what? It looks beat up. There's some scratches on it. It really is not in great shape at all. But, you know what? Why the hell not? This is a Sony, you probably saw it, Handycam Vision CCD TRV 72 NTSC high 8 camcorder with a viewfinder. A color viewfinder that I don't think actually works because I haven't been able to get it to do anything. Actually, you know what? That's false. I know how to do it. I know how to operate it. I think what you have to do is you have to... Oh, maybe you don't. Maybe that's not how it works. I thought it was, but I guess it's not. Oh, well. Okay. So I guess I've got some figuring out to do with this one. So that will definitely be getting its own video. But, as of right now, what's next on the hit parade? Let's see here. What is next on the hit parade? I don't know. Let's take a look at the pink stuff first, because it's colorful. These are all processors. Various different types, various different kinds. Most of it's just Pentium 4 Core 2 Duo stuff. So. This is an old 4-socket 423 Pentium 4. 1.4 gigahertz. 400 megahertz front-side bus. Real low end, not really worth a whole lot. Well, actually it is, because those are starting to get hard to find. This is a 775 I don't even know. These obviously need to be cleaned off because there's still heatsink grease on them. Again, is that a 775? That's another 775 chip that I don't know about. This is another 775 chip. Most of these 775s are probably Pentium 4s or Core 2 Duos or even Pentium Ds. I don't know. This, actually, I can read. This is a Core 2 Duo E6400. Clocked at 2.13 gigahertz. 1066 front-side bus. Awesome. There is a socket 478 Pentium 4. 2.8 gig, 512 megs of catch, 533 front-side bus. Another Pentium 4, I can't read the markings on it. That's 775, I believe. Yes. Another friggin' 775 chip. And another, and another, and another. And then we come to the goodies. This is an Intel Pentium. I believe it's actually even a Pentium 120. I've already got one of those, but you know, you never know. Might find a use for another one. And here's the oldie. Intel 480, or this is an Intel 486 DX4 100 megahertz chip with some bent pins. So unfortunately, this is not a working sample. I could probably bend those pins back, but you'll destroy the it destroys the integrity of the chips, or the pin. So, I mean, I don't really care that much. I'm not ever planning on using it. This is a blank for what looks like a PGA 370 socket. And this is an Intel Pentium 3, 866 megahertz, 133 megahertz front side bus. Blah, blah, blah. Again, it looks like a PGA 370 chip. Another stupid, I hate these, 478 Pentium 4 and another LGA775 chip. Okay, so those are going to have to go somewhere else now, and I'm going to get on with the rest of this video. Right, last on my hit parade. This. Now, I know you're probably going to ask what's in this bag, and the answer is nothing. Well, there is stuff in that bag, but it's not really, well, it's stuff that I put in there. And this. Now, at first glance, this looks like a DVI to HDMI cable. But let's take a look more closely. That doesn't look like HDMI. And that definitely doesn't look like DVI. Some of you will probably know what this is. It actually threw me through a loop for quite a bit. I was like, what the hell? Until I flipped it around and took a look at this end. That's right. This is for Apple Macintosh equipment. This is, I don't know what that connector is called, but it's, I think it's like AAUI, or actually no, that's not AAUI. That's the Ethernet. Whatever this is, to DB15 Macintosh monitor connection, used for hooking up external monitors to Apple Macintosh PowerBooks. Used on most of the old PowerBooks, I think. Well, it's obviously not used anymore. Now they've got Thunderbolt, but you know, whatever. So let's take a look at this thing. And yes, there is stuff in here. This is fairly heavy. It's like a freaking briefcase. I don't know what's in here. I don't want to open it because I think there's papers in it. Yes, there's papers in that, so I don't really want to open that because I don't know what's on those papers. Could be incriminating information, could be criminal record, could be, I don't know, resume. Could be anything. Shows that you should clean your shaz out when you're not using it. So what's in here? Alright, so very clearly we can see a network cable that is a bright freaking orange. And we've got a power cord. 3-prong power cord. If I had to guess, this probably goes to some old laptop power supply. And this is an old Dell supply. Alright. PA6. I haven't seen the end connector. Based off of this end connector, this is probably belonging to a Dell Latitude CPI or a Dell Latitude CP. I think there was one more in that series. CPX? I think it was it a CPX? I don't know. Okay, so the theoretical CPX, if it actually exists, maybe it's one of those. I don't know. So let's take a look here. Let's flip this down, because I want to be able to open up this big end. Where's the... Right here. Alright, so what's in this end of the machine? Or the bag? Was I right, or was I right? Down latitude CPX. With some discoloration, which you may or may not be able to see in the plastics. I don't like that, because that usually means that it was abused. But who knows, maybe the machine does still work. Don't really profess to know what all this thing has for specs. But I guess it's got a Pentium 3 in it. Well, that was annoying. Not sure if you heard that. What else? Pentium 3, Windows 2000, NT4, Windows 98. So, that's a bit of an issue. I guess the hinges on this thing are a little weak. Probably a well-used machine. Now, why does it have a Windows 95 COA on it? Windows 95 wasn't even on the Design For listing. I guess it's Design For. I should pop that service tag into, oh, damn, what is it called? Dell's website, and see if I've got any information about that. So I'm going to, put that back in the bag for now. Take a look at what else is in here. What else have we got? We have another stupid friggin' USB-powered floppy drive. Although, you know what? The more you have, the better you are. Is there anything else in there? No. Is there anything in here? There are papers. What the hell? These apparently were on a Dilbert calendar, and there are only a couple of them here. But I don't have the whole calendar. I'll just put those back in there, because why not, right? And we'll zip that back up and figure out what else is in this bag. Maybe I won't zip that back up because it looks like that zipper's broken. So what's in this upper portion here? We have a power cord, two-pronged style. Nothing else in that section. Oh, I can just unzip this. It'd be so much easier. What's in here? There's nothing there. We've got a serial cable. And a network cable for probably this 3COM 10 megabit LAN card. I've already got one of these. Actually, I don't. I think I got rid of the one that I had. What's in here? There's nothing in there. Oh, well. Business card. Is this somebody's business card, or is this just an inspection tag? Nope. This is an inspection tag. Inspected with pride by Targus. Inspector number TCM-1. Looks like a stamp to me. Anyways, let's zip that back up and take a look at what's in here. It's right here. Oh, no way. Now, it's not quite the same one that I used to have, but this is probably the closest I'm ever going to come. I used to have, way back, probably in the early 2000s, yeah, this was in the early 2000s, if I can even speak. I had a Satellite Pro for 30 CDT. And fairly look for wow. Everything is conspiring against my making of a video tonight. I had a 430 CDT. This is a 420 CDT. So my guess is that there's probably a limit to the amount of onboard memory and the CPU and all that whatnot. That's really the only difference. And I can also see some contraband here. We have a Sun Microsystems. The network is the computer. Very grungy looking mouse pad. But you know what? I haven't. It looks like that's all I've got here, though. Let's make sure I haven't missed anything. Haven't missed any hidden cubby holes or anything like that. Of course, I'm going to leave the laptop still in here. And we'll take a look at them in another video, because I don't have time. Let's make sure I didn't forget anything. In here, oh, there's nothing in there. I've already taken the Dilbert stuff out. Well, looked at the Dilbert stuff. Let's see. Anything else in here? I did miss something. A serial to PS2. That's not what this is. Serial to a young, can't even speak tonight. You know what? I'm dead tired. Serial to USB. There we go. That's what that is. Right. So that's pretty much it for that. Let's get on with making videos of this crap, which you will hopefully see in the near future. But until then, guys, this is CP666 signing off. Leave your comments below. And I think that was completely backwards from how I normally say that, but whatever. Right, so as you can probably tell, it's a little later on now. It's the excuse me, beginning of the next day. And here we've got all the memory piled on top of it. And 2 bags. In addition to that bag that these were in, which is this monstrosity. And you can see that this is definitely a lot cleaner. And also very reflective for whatever reason. But anyway, whatever. So we can see here that we've got stick of 128 megabyte AXI Vertium memory. This is actually for a Sun workstation. So most of this AXI stuff is for Sun workstation. Another 128 megabyte module. You can see these are actually full height modules, single-sided. Here's a double-sided module, half height. Same thing, I would guess. Doesn't give any indication as to what size it is, but I suppose I could figure it out. And yeah, before I continue, this is not how you're supposed to store memory modules. Unfortunately, I don't have the proper means of which to do them. But in the interest of letting the haters hate, I'm going to pause for a couple of seconds and let them all leave their comments down below telling me how much of a horrible person I am for storing memory modules this way. Alright, I'm going to continue on. So, next we've got a piece of AXI 256, half height. I grabbed AXI modules that I was going to put into my iMac and then realized that they didn't work. The reason why they didn't work is because they're AXI modules, which I believe means that they're buffered. That's what that chip in the middle is. I think that's a buffered chip. Another module that's unlabeled. Probably goes here if I had to guess. But I don't know for sure. I'm going to call it a different module. Here we have a 256 megabyte regular module. PC133, 256 megabytes. Like it should be. And we've got a lot of other modules. Some of these single-sided modules. Not sure what size this is. But again, it's PC133. You can tell PC133 because it's got 3 sections. 1, 2, and 3. And it's arranged like that. Or it's arranged the other way. You can see with these AXI modules, they're reversed. We have an Infineon 128 megabyte module. Single-sided, again. I believe The 256s are identical to these, but they're double-sided. Another single-sided module, probably from an IBM because it has an FRU model number on it. PC100, no real information about it. We have another IBM module. Does this tell me how big this is? 64 megabyte. And then I dropped it on the floor. And hit my thumb on the camera at the same time. I've got another piece of AXI memory. Samsung. Doesn't tell me how big it is. I suppose I could figure that out, though. Shouldn't be that hard to figure out what sizes these are. Just look up some of the chips online. Another AXI 256. Kit of 2, so there's my kit of 2. Another FRU. So this came from an IBM. PC100, 322, 620. Don't know what that means. It probably means something to somebody. And some of you memory geeks can probably tell me what all this stuff means. We've got, oh, this is DDR. PC3200, 512 meg. Piece of DDR memory. Another 512 meg piece of DDR. Looks like a 1 gigabyte DDR400 PC3200 module. Another piece of PC133 that's the same as this, pretty much. We've got a low profile, or what appears to be a lower profile than the standard, yes. Lower profile than standard half height, but it's not quite full height. Again, no markings, I have no idea what size it is. And there's a slightly different module from these. Again, no size markings. That's one of these. Where did I put it? Right there. It's the same as that. Another FRU doesn't tell me what the hell it is. Probably 64 megabytes if I had to guess, though. Centon. 128 megabyte AXI. I can tell because of the these two modules here. So I'll just throw that here. Sun memory. 128 megabyte, and this is a thick-ass module. Look at that. Again, same story. It's an AXI. It's actually, I think it's a genuine Sun. And this is PC2 5300F. This is... What? I didn't think I had any of this. This is fully registered memory, I believe is what they called this. And it actually I believe it requires these heat sinks because of the way it's used. You can see there's a chip right there. So, yes. These came out of a Xeon workstation, if I remember right. And I don't know why I have them. You can't use them with a standard DDR2 slot. Registered memory, you can, although motherboards usually won't accept them. But this would go in a machine, and you would be required to use this kind of memory, this PC2 5300F, or any kind of PC2F type memory. We got some more what looks like DDR. 512 meg, DDR400. Value select, Corsair memory. Good quality. Should be good quality. Another piece of the same thing. What's this? Whoops. Kit of 2 gigabyte. Is this DDR2? Or is this keyed the same way as the DDR? Let's find out. Let's take a DDR module. Move these scissors out of the way. Where'd I put that? Just put that. There it is. Is this a DDR2 module? No, that's a DDR module. Whoops. But that's cool. I can use that in something. Another FRU 64 megabyte IBM module. I don't know who makes it. We've got 256 megabyte PC2 3200, so that's DDR2. Didn't think I had any DDR2 in here, but obviously I do. Another one of these modules. Got a lot of these. PC100. 7 minutes about memory modules. Just the kind of video that you wanted to see. Probably a 256 megabyte if I had to guess, just based on what it looks like, and off of nothing else. DDR2 3200, PC2 3200, sorry. I believe that's DDR2 400 if I had to guess. So it's old, slow DDR, but that's the same as this. We have a 32 megabyte module that's pretty similar to this one. It looks like a sim, actually, but it's PC133. PC100. Don't know what it is. I don't know if it's 64 megs or 128 or what. Looks like another unbuffered memory module from a compact. Or, unbuffered. 64 meg, once again. Seem to have a lot of 64 meg chips. Simple technology. No size markings on it. And some other memory module. Again, I don't know. There's no real information stored on it. This is going to be fun to put all back in that bin. 32 megabyte. Yeah. So that's probably the smallest module I have in terms of PC133. I do have some Sims, so those are smaller, but SEC and single-sided, probably 64 or 32 or 128. Couldn't be any bigger than that. Nanya, 1 gigabyte, PC2 4200. What's this? PC2 3200. 256 meg. So I've got some DDR2. And that's the same story. And, what are these? Low-profile modules. Oh my god. I think this is the best module I have. I've got 2 of them, too. 2 gigabytes of PC2 8400 is what this looks like. And, of course, I've got 2 of these. 512 DDR. Dell. Make next upgrade Dell certified memory. 512 megs, PC2 4200. Okay. Value RAM, again, same story, 512 meg. DDR2 66, so that's old. DDR2, or old DDR. Here's some DDR2. And finally, another 512 DDR2 66 module. Okay, so that's all the DDR, and DDR2 and PC133 and all that whatnot. Now let me go through this bag, and let's see what's in this bag. Alright, I see a fan on it, but what is actually in here? Oh. Pentium 2. Just a slot 1 Pentium 2. Or slot 2 Pentium 2, I don't know. That is exactly what this is. It looks like it's in pretty decent shape, too. It's got some sticky residue on it. But it's got a wonderfully crafted baffle on it. I don't know where this baffle... I don't know what this even came out of. Might have been an IBM, but I don't know. Pentium 2... What are the specs of this? I guess it won't tell me. Because they're Intel. 8522PX266512. Looks like it's 256 megahertz with 512K catch. Right, Pentium 2 266 is what this is. Actually makes a lot of sense. I think this came out of a digital computer. A DEC. I think it was like a PC 5510 or something like that. So, well, there you go. Got myself a Pentium 2. Slot 1 Pentium 2, or slot 2 Pentium 2. I don't know what slot this is. I think it's slot 1, though. Alright, so let's take a look at this bag and wonder what's in this bag. What's in this bag? I know what's in the bag, but that might surprise you. You might know what it is by looking at that one module. It is memory. But what kind of memory? This memory is usually very expensive. and usually very hard to find, especially in larger sizes. But I've got a lot of it, and the reason why I got it is because it was all going to be thrown away, because we don't use, or they didn't use systems that use this anymore. So let's ceremoniously cut the tape and take a look. Now you may definitely know what it is. For those that don't, we've got more tape to cut. We're going to take a look at these modules. I'm sure you definitely know what they are now. That's right. We've got some RD RAM here. RAM bus, RIMs, whatever you want to call them. And you can tell that because of the 2 notches and because of the heatsink, which was necessary on RAM bus memory because these run hot. Alright. 128 megabytes of PC600 RD RAM. Warning, hot surface. SamsungSemiconductor.com or SamsungSemi.com. I wonder if that address is still there. I guess it is. 128 megabytes, 8-bit ECC. Another of the same type. These came out of an IBM. We have another one. Most of these are 128s as far as I can tell. But we've got a couple of 256s as well. That one's 256. This one is 256. This one is 512 16-bit ECC. Oh, sorry. 16 chips, I believe, is what that means. So there's 8 chips here, 16 chips here. Because these are also 16-bit or 16 whatever. I don't understand. We've got some rim dummy plates. I think I've got 2 of those. Some different Toshiba 128 megabyte memory. Another one of these. Another dummy card. Another 128 megabyte. And the 256. Actually, that's Toshiba. Or sorry, that is Samsung 256. But it's got different heat sinks on it. The stuff is cold, actually. 128 Toshiba. Marked with IBM badging. Same story. Most of this is just the same stuff. Samsung with a different heatsink. Toshiba. This is all stuff that's been acquired over the course of quite a bit of time, actually. I think over the last 2 months, all this stuff has been following me home. So, it's a lot of stuff here. I wanted to make one big video, though. And one big video it is! This is turning out to be a lot longer than I thought it would be. Yeah, that's Samsung. Okay. I didn't realize that I actually had 4 of these. I thought I only had 2, but... Obviously, I've got 2 megabytes worth of this crap. Sorry, 2 gigabytes worth of this junk. 2 megabytes, that wouldn't be a lot. That would be 256K. Or... So, yeah, that's 2 gigabytes. So, that would be 512K each instead of 512 megs each. Yes. 128 ECC, and that's pretty much it. So you can see all the RD RAM that I've got, and I'll put that back in the bag, put this bag away, and we'll take a look at the expansion cards and the CPUs. So I've decided against looking at all the CPUs, mainly because, well, you saw them at the beginning of this video already when I went through all the stuff when it was over there in an expertly crafted fire hazard. And it's really not really worth it to go through these because most of them are just Pentium 4s, so you're not missing much. Some of them are interesting, like that P4 right there, as well as the 486 DX4, but really, you're not missing much by not looking at them. So let's take a look at these expansion cards. What's the first one that I got here? Oh, this is a good one. Some of you will probably be looking at me like, how the hell did you find one of these? Big bag, though. Very unnecessarily large bag. Wish I got a different one. This is a High Point Rocket Rig 1740 PCI to SATA 2 host adapter. It's also a RAID card, all-in-one. It's really nice for home or office use. I don't know what that is. I never did understand that. I believe those are console connections. Does it tell me? Anyway, okay. So it's got 4 ports on it. It is SATA. Obviously, it's a SATA 2 adapter. And it's also got a speaker piezo beeper on it. That's not a speaker, it's a piezo beeper. And that's pretty much all that there is to say about that card. Next up, we've got an AGP video card. ATI. It's got a really crappy 40mm fan on it that amazingly still works. And it's even got the add-on expansion, the second module here, for having DVI. This is a DVI only board right here. It is AGP, like I probably already said. Does it tell me what this is? No. Which brings me to what I really wanted to talk about with these. And I'm really sorry, but I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant right now about expansion cards. Do you know what drives me insane about expansion cards? And it's what I just mentioned. It's the fact that they can print all kinds of information all over the board, and they can lay stickers everywhere, but they can never identify what particular card this is, or at least what generation of chip is being used on the card. Now, I know that these days, especially these days, that the drivers are unified enough that if you have a general idea as to what the card is, you can get a driver that will probably work, because most of the drivers are unified that they'll work with an entire series of cards. But that does not help you when you've got a bunch of cards right here in a junk box, and you're trying to figure out which one is the best one for a particular application. And it is absolutely no fun to sit there and try them all. Believe me, I've been down that route. It is not fun at all. You can sit there for hours on hours and hours and hours. I can't even talk today either. And what I really don't understand about this is that they have all kinds of little labels and all those kinds of things silk screened in the plastic, or the PCB. We've got a complies with Canadian ICES marking there. We've got a stamp QI. We've got a revision number, and a not particularly useful serial and part number, as well as this, for home or office use. And on this particular part of the board, well, on this fan, we've got ATI. And on this particular part of the board, we've got some stickers, again, serial number and part numbers that aren't particularly useful. We've got some numbers silk screened into it. We've got an SYE on it. But if they can print all that kind of stuff on the board, would it really have killed them to identify what particular card this is, or at least what generation of card this is? I don't think so, but it must be pretty hard because nobody seems to do it. Off my little tangent, you can see that we've got a VIA VT6212 powered card, probably built for a compact, if I had to guess. And I'd probably be right. PCI card. Now, what is this? PU2325/PU2345V1. That was clumsy. Version 1.0. That's redundant. V1 version 1.0. That's kind of ridiculous. Again, they don't print any kind of information about what particular card this actually is on here. But at least they tell you the actual card model. You probably know what this is. It's obviously a USB card. Probably USB 2.0, if I had to guess. There are only 2 slots on it, but what more can you ask for? It's more than 0 that some computers have of this vintage. Now here's an oldie. This is a 64-bit, or it looks like a 64-bit. Yes, this is a 64-bit, or sorry, not 64-bit, VESA local bus, or media bus, depending on how you want to refer to it. I believe it's UMC. This is an expansion card for an old computer, they call these multiple I/O controllers. You can see we've got IDE ports, floppy port, and yes, I realize that there's some bent pins on the floppy port. A game port for a MIDI, one of those DB15s that's not a Macintosh video port. A second port for a second serial. or a header for a second serial port, and it's got a serial port and a parallel port built in. I believe this may or may not have been available with only the parallel port and just a card bracket that didn't have the port for the serial on it. Here's an oldie that might be useful in some future computer projects. Looks like it still even has the price tag on it. Looks like somebody paid $195 for this when it was new. Or maybe even more. Maybe it was $1,195.11 when it was new. Oh, 1986. So I would assume that this was probably purchased in 1986. Right, I'm not going to take this one out of the bag because you probably already know what it is based on the fact that that's a purple connector. This is a parallel card. So, there you go. Let's take a look at the last one. Now, I don't know what this is. I haven't opened the bag yet. And I didn't check what was in the bag before I opened it. Or put it in the bag or initially grabbed it. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Maybe somebody else can tell me. I don't know what this is. It says our design on it, no revision. Assembled in Broomfield, Colorado. NXI 110. With a serial number. Looks like it's got coils on it. So, and switching transistors. So this is probably a voltage regulator of some kind. Maybe for a processor. Maybe for something else. I don't really know. It says KS on it. And of course it's got a heat sink. But I don't know what this is. I don't know exactly what this is, but I suppose I could look it up or have somebody else look it up for me. Let me put that back and take a look at the remainder of the expansion cards. So that really silver bag right there has a Rocket Raid card in it. But this is a really cool one. I don't know exactly what it is. Of course, I can't get it out of the damn bag. It's a VGA card, of course. Looks like maybe PCI, maybe something else. But, if you take a look at the back, it has a 3DFX marking on it. 3DFX Interactive. Not quite sure exactly what that means. Not sure what this is. If this is a voodoo card, or if this is something else. There you go. Another PCI VGA card. As if I needed one of those. This, I don't quite know what it is. I know that it's a, came out of a Sun, what was that thing? A Sun Ultra 10 clone. It is a video card. You can see the 13W3 connection that it usually has, or that these Sun things usually have. And a port for the Sun keyboard. Or it looks like the Sun keyboard. Maybe it wasn't a keyboard port. But anyway, I think this might be a Creator 3D card, but I don't know for sure. It's got a Sun chip on it. Maybe somebody can tell me. Also some menu or design, presumably the PCB designer team names. Next, we've got what is a very dusty video card. Now, I'm not sure if this is AGP or what this is, but it's a Chips and Technologies card. As you can see, it's got a fan on the back of it that amazingly still works. Whoops. Let's not grab it from the heatsink in case we rip that off. Dual slot, because it's a dual slot cooler. Obviously because of the fan. I don't know what that is. Looks like S-video of some kind. Oh, no, that's not what that is. That looks like it's for some kind of proprietary, like 3D glasses or something like that. Or glasses for something, anyway. We've got DVI and VGA as well. But I don't know if this is AGP, or if this is proprietary for something, or what this is. It might be AGP. just some other variant of AGP. Next up, we've got this beast. That's right. It's an NVIDIA Quadro. I don't know if it identifies itself anymore. It's a not particularly useful NVIDIA part number on there, though. Yes, it does. Quadro FX 4600. So maybe you can tell me how old this is. It's got a, it looks like an SLI port on the top of it, though. So it can't be that old. But this was in a bin of stuff that was going to be thrown away. Believe it or not. I don't think they knew that it was in there, though. I don't think anybody really knew that it was in there, otherwise it wouldn't have gotten thrown away. I believe it works, but I haven't tested it, so I don't know. It requires a 6-pin power connector in order to work, and you can see the big beefy heatsink. This part of it, I believe, can be taken off. This big huge thing at the back here. Like this bracket extension, but maybe it can't. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at it. But that's pretty much it for the expansion cards. So let's take a look at some other stuff, shall we? I did get 2 other things. Of course, in this bunch, we have some slot blanks and a Maxter Diamond Max 10 80GB serial ATA drive. I didn't think Maxter ever made serial ATA drives, especially not some of their own. I was expecting this to be a rebadged Seagate drive, but it's not. If it were a rebadged Seagate, it would be an STM380 something or another S, because it's a SATA drive. But it's not. It's a 6L080M0, which is a Maxter part number. So I was not actually expecting that. But it's here. It's got fluid bearings. It's not really worth powering up on camera because it's got fluid bearings, so it doesn't really make any noise. And that's pretty much it for that. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. I hope to see you next time. Till then.